Hey, it's been a while since I did a proper YouTube video, and the last time I did a voiceover was 3 months ago, when I was sick and I sounded so awful, and I still do. My birthday is actually coming up, and I decided to do something I usually do when I'm on art block or when I feel like shit looking at my art, and that is to redraw old artworks. And in today's video, we are going to draw Erwin Tancho. So this is the artwork slash fan art that I'm gonna be redrawing today. I drew these back in December of 2020, almost 5 years now. And I remember drawing this on my laptop that I still use now. But back then, I was using a mouse. Yes, I used to draw with a computer mouse. And like before, the software that I'm gonna use is Medibang Paint. So it's gonna be the same laptop, the same software, and the only upgrade in my equipment is my drawing tablet. I'm currently using the XP Pen Artist 12 Gen 2. By the way, I'm gonna be yapping throughout this entire video talking about what I'm doing new or what I've learned the past 5 years of me doing digital art. So this is gonna be a draw and yap session thing. I'm gonna be making this video as short as possible so you wouldn't have to listen to a podcast you didn't want. Side note, was actually planning to be that serious, nonchalant artist here, but it was just not working for me, guys. If you followed me on my social media accounts, you would know how dramatic and over the top I am in my stories. We gotta keep it real! Anyways, I'm getting so sidetracked. Let's get into this art video. A thing that I learned is the importance of learning the basics. I learned the flat shapes, 2D and 3D shapes, lines, and etc. because those are important in drawing, especially in making guidelines or sketches. Honestly, I used to think that pro artists don't need guidelines, they just magically draw things immediately. Well, some art gods do, but you know, I'm just a small baby artist that just learned how to walk in this field. 5 years ago, I remember immediately sketching the face without the guidelines because I thought that would make me a pro. But as you can see, the proportions are way off. But not gonna lie, I still think it looks good for a beginner. So, good job young me for trying. Also, I learned anatomy. I learned the basic general placement of body parts and just stylized it based on my art style. Now that I have a rough sketch, I then make the clean sketch. I don't want to call it line art because it's not like one of those very crisp and clean lines. It's just the cleaner version of the sketch without the guides. Before, I didn't really clean the sketch, I just proceed with adding the colors and merging them. Now that we have the clean sketch, I then add the base colors in multiple layers and add like the quote-unquote primary shadows of the colors. Please note, I really don't know what the terminologies the pros use, and throughout the video I might make up words like primary shadows because I just call it whatever. So, my bad. I'll do better next time. I promise. And then I just merged the sketch layer and the color same as how I did 5 years ago. And then I just render. I also learned that adding values or shadows to a subject is actually linked with color theory. As you can see in my old work, the colors look muddy and it looks flat even with the different values of the color. What I learned from a lot of artists here in this platform is that you gotta play with the colors. Like instead of adding a darker shade of a color for its shadow, you can adjust the hue a little bit before you adjust the values. You can choose the complementary hue of a color to create a natural looking shadow. It really depends on the environment of your subject. I can't really explain it in detail right now because I'm still learning about it and I'm still a beginner and I don't want to mislead my beloved people, but you can watch a lot of videos here on YouTube from pro artists about color values and color theory. So here's the difference between my quote-unquote rendering 5 years ago and my current rendering. First, I'm no longer afraid in drawing strong lines and shapes. And what I mean is, before, I used to overblend everything that it ends up melting with each other. For example, Like his shirt over here is literally melting into his skin. The folds are not visible and looks blurry because I tend to overblend. Also, you can't really see the shape of his jacket too because again, I was afraid of drawing lines and the things I was drawing wasn't taking a solid shape. You know what they say, hesitation can sometimes lead to destruction, babes. Wow, words of wisdom from Kay. Did that make sense? If it did not, forget about it. But you get what I mean, right? Also, I learned using different modes of layering. Back then, I only knew the normal and multiply mode and never really used the other ones. Now I use a lot of them for lighting, shadows, and effects. Making this video really made me think that all this progress is because I showed up and kept practicing. I'm still far from what I want to achieve, but I also realize that I'm already far from where I started. I love redrawing old artworks of mine from time to time, especially when I feel stuck and I feel like I made no progress at all. Because I always think it's better to compare your old self to the current one instead of comparing yourself to others. And I suggest you do the same as well. And also be kind to yourself because you have come a long way. Now with that very dramatic touching speech out of the way, I want to show you something. I edited this one on my phone and it's giving the one that got away. You know, it's also giving, here's a picture of your great-great-grandpa who fought in the Great Titan War and lost to the pitch of the Ape Titan circa 850. Also, people say my fan arts are very yassified, and I completely agree, and take it as a compliment. I mean, look at Elvin Tanzo. Shape brows, keratin treatment, a lip filler, brow lift, and the lashes? Major glow up. Period.